Hi guys and welcome back, and if you're new here, thanks for joining us. In this video we're going to be fitting the Powerflex gear shifter cable bushes for the Hyundai i30N. They've sent them out to us to do a video on fitting them. There's been a few people that have been struggling, so we're going to be fitting them in this video today and showing you how to do it. So if you want to see how easy it is to do, stay tuned and I'll see you very shortly. Today we're going to be fitting the EBC big brake kit on my Hyundai i30N. Here I'm going to be fitting the rear spats. So like a lot of our videos, I've not done this before, so I'm just going to be working it out as I go along. Obviously the first thing we're going to need to do is remove the battery and the battery tray, so we're going to start with that. I'm not going to be doing a full tutorial because I have done all of this removal in the upper gearbox mount, so if you want to see a more detailed video on how to do that, go and check out that video. I'm going to link it down below. Apart from that, let's get this battery off and see how we're going to do the shifter cable bushes. So this harness for the battery here, it'll be attached because the battery tray's off. You can just put it down there so it's out of the way, so that we've got access to the gear shift cables. So let's start with the front one because it's obviously easier to see and easier to get to. So there's this little pin that holds the actual linkage onto the top. So we pull this bit here where my finger is and pull this bit where my thumb is. So you're prying this bottom bit here like that, just so that it loops over the little pin that goes through it. It's going to be quite difficult to do it because I'm holding the camera. So pull this little bit towards you, hold this little tab at the back, and that pin slides off. So you're pulling that bit there and then pulling away this way while you're trying to get it off the little pin, and then that just slides off the linkage there. So that's the first bush, that's the smaller one I believe. So what I'm going to try, so there's not a lot of gap in there, I don't want to end up damaging it, is I've got these exhaust hanger pliers. So I'm going to put this on the top, this bit goes on the bottom, and then hold it on like that and try and push it out, see if that works. Just trying to do it very gently. That's the first one out. Wasn't too bad to be fair. So this is the original bush. I don't know if you can really see that on camera, but I can feel it with my fingers. It's quite flexible. There's not a lot of resistance in that. So the Powerflex one, I've got the black series. It's literally solid completely. So we're going to just put a little bit of the grease that Powerflex provide. Not going to go too mad. Just make it a lot easier to be able to slot it back in. So just around the edge like that. Just on that front face. So now we can put the new Powerflex bush in. It's obviously quite stiff, so I'm just going to get a pair of pliers and just press that in. So just make sure it's seated all the way around nice and evenly. So I'm just going to put a little bit of grease on that little pin as well, just so it slides over a little bit easier. And then the little locking pin. Just literally pops back in like that. So that is the first one done. So now the second one is basically the same theory. I think the second one has the same pin and it has a notch in the bush, so it's probably going to be a little bit more difficult to get out. So you can see it's obviously got like a pressurized bit on the center there that we're going to have to pop it over. So let's give that a go and see how that goes. So on the rear cable there is a little plastic spring clip there, and then that little red clip you push down like that and it pops out the bottom, and then I think we'll be able to take this whole linkage off here. I think that's going to be a lot easier to be able to get the new bush in and get the old one out. So I'm not probably going to be able to do this on my own while holding a camera, so I'm going to do that. I've shown you how I think it's done. If it's any different than that, obviously I'll tell you, but I'm going to get it off and then we'll fit the bush after that. So I have the linkage off. Basically it sits like that as you're looking at it on the car. So you pull this up like that, and then underneath you've got these pink clips, so you can push from the inside like that, and then once it's sitting round and it's pried out like that, you get a flathead screwdriver and just gently prise it up like that, and the pink clip will pop out. Once that pink clip's out, that then releases the cable, so you can then just pull off the whole cable and there'll be a little white plastic thing at the end. So obviously you just do reverse. You have to be careful of the little spring inside, if you can see that on the camera. That is what gives tension on the actual cable, so when you put the cable back in, that spring, make sure you definitely got that back in, and then it will just be reverse. So then you just push that clip back in once it's in place, and then push it all the way down on the cable, and then that white sleeve will slip back over it. So for now, so we don't lose anything, I'm going to take the spring and the white clip, put it to one side, take the spring out as well so we don't end up losing that, and put that to one side. And now we're going to press this bush out, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. I might try with the exhaust clamps again. Worst case scenario, we do have a bush press, so I'm going to have a go at it and then put it back in and then show you how I did it. So on the actual linkage there's two little plastic clips, so we're just going to get a flathead screwdriver, pop both sides out. So I've tried a few different ways of trying to get the bush out of the cable end, and I think 34mm socket on the bottom, and then get the exhaust clamp. Doesn't seem to have damaged the original one, so if you did want to go back to standard at some point you can. So just to show you quickly, this is facing upwards this side here, so the pink clip goes in like that, and you can see on the inside there's little grooves, so those little notches there, as you put them in, you can imagine they click past that, and then that's where you get the movement of it going up to the top and then going back in. So you look at that little groove there, that's where that little notch goes, so it pops up a little bit, so make sure you got it the right way around. The Powerflex bit should be on the top side like that, so we're going to push it in from behind, so you'll see the Powerflex in there at the top, and that's how it's going to go. So where the two seals are, the creases in the bush, they sit on either side like that. So we're going to put a little bit of grease around the outside and push it back through. I'm not sure if we're going to use the mole grips or the exhaust clamp again. It's actually been really helpful with that exhaust clamp, it seems to have done most of the job for me. So let's give that a go. So I've tried it with the mole grips and with the exhaust hanger clamps. But it's not working. I think because it's the Black Series, it's obviously very stiff, so we've ended up having to use our press. So this should be pretty simple and just go through. So the bush is now in. We ended up having to use the press, as you just saw. You can tell, like I was saying earlier, with the bushes they're just so much stiffer, and it's got the little metal sleeve in there as well, so it gives even less movement, so it should be a nice precise shift now. So now we're going to put it all back together. So we've got the little spring, goes down into the centre, so it just disappears like that, and then that just goes back over there, and then the little pink clip with the little ridge there pointing towards the end of it, so you just pull the white bit back and that just pops in like that. But what we're going to do is take that pink bit back out so we can put the cable end back on and then push the pink clip back in, and then that will hold the cable back into place. So I've got Natalie to help me film just so I can show you this bit properly. So the spring goes at the top end of the selector, so the white bit pulls back like that, and that's where the pink clip goes in, and you've got the little spring in there. So you have to be really careful when you're doing this bit that the spring doesn't end up falling out the end, so keep it like that so it's got less chance and it will only come out this bit here. So just try and hold it upwards. So I undid this screw that holds this harness here just so that I can move it up a little bit. Force my hand down there. You want the little white clip there to be flat on your finger as you hold it like that, because it sits flat inside here. So I can then just pass it to my other hand. Push it inside. And then you just got to move it around until it properly sits inside there. Once there's that little white bit goes past where you can't see it anymore, that's when you put the little pink clip in. So you just need to wiggle the white bit around until it slots inside the end. It is very fiddly. Right, so that's now in. And the little pink clip, pull the white bit back. The ridge here on this end goes at the back.
Just show that bit again, because this didn't pick it up.
I can't, it's clicked in now. And then you literally push the selector all the way to the back like that. Little pink clip goes in and the white bit goes back over, and that's all back together. And then you can just put it back over the notch like that, but you need one washer underneath. So one washer like that. That goes over. Other washer goes on. So get it back in. And that's it, all back together. So we're just out now testing the Powerflex gear shifter cable bushes, and it's actually made a lot more difference than I thought it would be with the precision of the gear change. There's a lot less play in the gear stick. It just feels 100 times better. If you watch on the gear stick, it's just so much more precise. There's no like some of the play that you've got there. It's just so much more precise, and the gear changes just feels so much better. So I just wanted to put that little bit in there, just to, as we're going out to test drive, make sure everything's all fitted back together properly. I'd advise you doing the same. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We are going to be doing more videos of Powerflex and stuff like that. So we've also got quite a lot of Powerflex videos up on our channel already. So go check those out. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you then.